took what now would seem to be a very reasonable position of not believing a word coming out of Meghan Markle's mouth about my royal family. Now, most people now agree with me about the veracity of what comes out of her mouth. But at the time, this was deemed so controversial that my company, rather than defending my right to free speech, the network said, you've either apologize for disbelieving her.
January 2026, and the war between Piers Morgan and Meghan Markle just hit a whole new level. Piers Morgan, the man who's made attacking Meghan his signature topic since she ghosted him back in 2016, is reportedly planning something massive. Word spreading through media circles suggests he's got photos. Not just any photos. Images that allegedly show Meghan during those mystery years before Harry. The years nobody discusses. The years scrubbed from her public story. According to sources close to Piers Morgan Uncensored, he's considering airing controversial images that could raise serious questions about Meghan's past connections with wealthy individuals. Professional networking, some call it. Elite social arrangements, others whisper. Whatever you want to call it, insiders claim these alleged photos could devastate the carefully crafted image Meghan's built. Her team is reportedly monitoring the situation closely. Lawyers on standby. PR working overtime trying to get ahead of potential damage. Because if Piers really has what sources claim he has, if he decides to go public with images allegedly showing Meghan's connections to high-profile benefactors during her pre-royal years, the Duchess brand could collapse overnight. So buckle up, because this feud between Piers and Meghan might be about to explode in ways that change everything. Let me take you back to where this hatred started. 2016. Piers Morgan meets Meghan Markle at a pub in Kensington. This is documented fact. She reached out to him on Twitter, calling herself a big fan. They met for drinks. Piers said publicly they got on brilliantly. He thought they had a real friendship building. Then boom. Meghan has one dinner with Prince Harry the very next night. And that was the absolute last time Piers ever heard from her. She ghosted him completely, cut him off, never responded again, moved on to bigger things. This is all confirmed by Piers himself in multiple interviews. Piers has never gotten over it. He's called her a social climber publicly, said she uses people, accused her of being fake. And when Meghan and Harry did that Oprah interview in March 2021, Piers lost it on Good Morning Britain. He said live on air, "I don't believe a word she says. Meghan Markle, I wouldn't believe it if she read me a weather report." Those are his exact words. Then he stormed off set during an argument with weather presenter Alex Beresford. Got 58,000 complaints to the TV regulator. Even Meghan herself filed a complaint. Piers ended up leaving his job at GMB. His entire career there gone because he wouldn't apologize for calling Meghan a liar. But here's what's fascinating. Piers doesn't regret it, not for 1 second. He said freedom of speech is a hill he's happy to die on.
Yes, I got this direct message from Meghan Markle.
A private message,
Yeah. And it said, hey, I'm a big fan, and I'm so excited you're following me. And this is
She said to you?
Yeah, it was about 3 years ago. And I replied, and we corresponded quite regularly on Twitter.
He's built his entire new show, Piers Morgan Uncensored, around attacking Meghan and Harry. It's become his signature topic. And now sources suggest he may be preparing his biggest attack yet. You see why this is personal. This isn't just journalism. This is revenge. Piers got ghosted and humiliated. Now he's dedicated years to destroying the woman who did it. Let me break down what sources claim these alleged images might show. Because this is where it gets absolutely devastating for Meghan, if they're real. According to media insiders, photos have been circulating in certain circles for years, showing Meghan on luxury yachts with wealthy men. Not at public events, not at work functions, private settings, exclusive gatherings where beautiful women get invited for networking opportunities. Now here's the important thing.
Monarchy, given that two of our most famous young royals have waged a 3-year war on the institution. They've weaponized the culture of validation for victimhood and convinced a generation of young people that the monarchy is an antiquated, evil institution. And less than a fortnight before the biggest day in the monarchy's recent history,
Nobody's confirmed these photos are real. Multiple fact-checkers have said many yacht photos circulating online show other women misidentified as Meghan. That's documented. But sources close to Piers claim He believes he has images that are verified. What would these photos allegedly show? Rumors suggest Meghan at elite social events during her suits years. Gatherings with high-profile businessmen.
It's the answer, it kind of suggests that William has been stung by this criticism from his brother and sister-in-law and felt on this one, he was going to answer.
Well, absolutely. You can understand his frustration that all of this shade is being thrown at him through this Oprah interview.
The kind of networking that raises questions about how a cable TV actress making $50,000 an episode could afford international luxury travel. Here's what drives me crazy about this situation. If these photos don't exist or aren't real, why doesn't Meghan just say so clearly? She sued tabloids before. She threatened legal action against the Daily Mail. But regarding yacht photos, just silence and general denials through representatives. That silence is interesting. Not proof of anything, but interesting. Because if photos were completely fabricated, you'd expect direct legal action against whoever's spreading them. Instead, nothing specific. Just continuing to live her life while rumors grow. Let me explain what people mean when they talk about elite networking in these contexts. In wealthy circles, there's a whole industry of professional networking. Beautiful, ambitious people attend exclusive events. They provide companionship at gatherings, make powerful individuals look good at social functions. It's presented as legitimate business networking. And technically, it is. No laws broken. Just people using their appearance and social skills to gain access to circles they couldn't reach otherwise. In exchange, they get opportunities, introductions, career connections, sometimes financial support for their ambitions. Nothing inherently wrong with networking. Everyone does it. The question is always about transparency. Did you earn your success through talent or through strategic relationships you're not disclosing? Sources suggest that's what these alleged photos might reveal about Meghan. Not anything illegal, just that her rise from nobody actress to royal wife involved strategic networking with wealthy benefactors she's never publicly acknowledged. Connections that open doors talent alone wouldn't have opened. You understand what I'm telling you. This isn't about attacking anyone for being ambitious. It's about whether the story Meghan tells matches the reality of how she actually built her career and connections. Think about Meghan's entire brand right now. She just launched with Love Meghan on Netflix. She's positioning herself as the authentic California Duchess, self-made woman, feminist voice, someone who succeeded through hard work and talent. Her brand is worth millions. Netflix deals, speaking engagements, product partnerships, book deals, all built on this image of authenticity and overcoming adversity through her own efforts. But what happens if photos emerge suggesting her success came through strategic networking with wealthy benefactors rather than pure merit? The whole brand collapses. Because authenticity was the foundation. Take that away and what's left? Corporate partners would reconsider. Netflix might think twice about renewals. Speaking fees would drop. Because brands want genuine voices, not people whose success story turns out to be incomplete or misleading. And Harry, man, imagine what this does to Harry. He defended Meghan against his entire family, left royal life, burned bridges with William and Charles, all because he believed the attacks against her were unfair and racist. But what if William and Charles had legitimate concerns based on information they'd gathered?
Friend.
Well, as one of the many friends that she cut off spectacularly the moment she got a bit of royal action, along with her entire family, of course, on both sides, apart from her mother. I don't think Meghan Markle's in any position to be lecturing anybody about friendship. It's hard to imagine two people who've been less compassionate.
What if their questions about her background weren't prejudice, but genuine doubts about whether she was being fully honest about her past? Harry's trapped. He can't go back to his family now. They'd never let him forget they tried warning him. But staying with Meghan means defending against questions that might have legitimate answers he doesn't want to hear. You know what's really interesting? The royal family did investigate Meghan before the wedding. That's standard procedure. They look into backgrounds, check stories, verify information. And sources have long suggested they found things that concerned them. William reportedly told Harry to slow down, be careful, make sure he knew what he was getting into. The family allegedly had questions about Meghan's past that Harry dismissed as racism or jealousy. But what if they'd seen evidence? What if palace investigators had found the same photos Piers allegedly has? What if William and Charles tried warning Harry based on actual information, and he refused to listen? That would explain so much. The family's initial reluctance to fully embrace her, the concerns about her motives, the tensions that developed. Maybe it wasn't prejudice. Maybe it was trying to protect Harry from someone whose story didn't fully check out. And Harry ignored them, accused them of being racist and controlling, chose Meghan over family. Now he might be discovering they had legitimate reasons for their concerns all along. Here's the thing about defamation, lawsuits that people don't understand. You can only sue if statements are provably false. If photos are real and just show Meghan at events with wealthy people, that's not defamation. That's documentation. Meghan could argue the implications are false, that the photos show innocent networking, normal social interactions, nothing inappropriate. But proving defamation when photos are real is incredibly difficult. And think about what legal discovery would require. If Meghan sued Piers, his lawyers would demand answers. Where was she during those years? Who did she meet? What financial arrangements existed? Everything under oath. That's risky. Discovery could expose more than the original photos. It would force detailed accounting of her pre-royal life. Better to stay quiet and hope it blows over than risk legal process revealing even more. That's not necessarily guilt. Could just be smart legal strategy. But it's interesting that Meghan's been willing to sue tabloids over other things, but won't directly confront the yacht photo allegations through courts. Here's what nobody talks about enough. Hollywood's a small community. People who worked in those circles during Meghan's suits years would know the reality of her social life and networking activities. Sources suggest some industry insiders have always known Meghan attended exclusive events and had wealthy connections. But nobody said anything publicly. Professional courtesy, fear of lawsuits, not wanting to damage someone's career over rumors. But privately, the stories have circulated for years in certain circles about how Meghan funded her lifestyle, how she got access to events beyond her pay grade, who her benefactors and connections were. So what really happens here? Let me give you my honest prediction based on how these situations typically unfold. Most likely, Piers continues attacking Meghan verbally on his show, but doesn't actually air controversial photos because the legal risk is too high. The backlash would be massive. And even Piers has limits on how far he'll go. But the threat alone damages Meghan. Because now everyone's talking about what photos might exist, what they might show, whether Meghan's past is fully disclosed. The speculation does the damage without Piers having to actually follow through. Meghan probably continues her strategy of general silence. Let her lawyers handle things privately. Don't give the story more oxygen by responding directly. Hope people get bored and move on to the next scandal. Harry's stuck in the middle. Can't defend Meghan too hard without looking foolish if evidence emerges. Can't separate from her without admitting his family was right. So he probably says nothing and hopes it goes away. Meanwhile, the online speculation continues. Photos circulate that may or may not be real. Conspiracy theories grow. And Meghan's image takes damage regardless of whether Piers ever airs anything. Let me finish with why this story matters beyond celebrity drama. This is about public personas versus private realities, about how people craft images that might not tell the complete story. Meghan built a brand worth millions on being authentic, real, self-made. A woman who earned everything through talent and perseverance. That narrative made her wealthy and influential. But if evidence suggests that narrative is incomplete, if her success involved connections and networking she never disclosed, then what are we really celebrating? A carefully managed image or an actual person? I'm not saying Meghan did anything wrong. Networking is how the world works, but transparency matters. If you're selling authenticity, your story needs to be actually authentic, not a curated version that omits inconvenient details. That's why Piers threatening to expose her past matters, because it forces questions about whether the person we see is real or performed, whether success stories we're told are complete or edited for better branding. And regardless of what Piers does or doesn't air, regardless of what photos exist or don't exist, Those questions now follow Meghan. The doubt is there. The speculation won't stop. Her image is damaged simply by the suggestion there might be more to the story. That's Piers Morgan's revenge, not destroying Meghan completely, just ensuring she never fully escapes questions about who she really was before she became a duchess, making sure the fairy tale always has an asterisk, a doubt that never quite goes away. And maybe that's worse than any single photo could ever be, because it's doubt that lasts forever, eating away at credibility no matter what Meghan achieves. That's the revenge Piers wanted. And honestly, he might have already won.